Good afternoon, guys, or good evening. It's 5:37 p.m. Today is September 7th, Wednesday, and today was a nice day, in terms of for price action wise. It was a very perfect reading today. So I got perfect reading today. I usually do it all the time, but today was like to the dot almost. So based on the observation from the overnight and all these things, right? So today I open up for both the sides, and I also say today be careful for both the sides because price is supporting both sides, So, and also at the same time I'm not feeling comfortable today for either side, and then hunting levels are important and blue lines, right? So based on the observation, you may be able to take one long today from either 3906 area or prefer buyers or backups area, right? And look at the beauty of it. This was the low of the day, right? See how the reading came out. So this was the first sign when I saw it of the open, right? This was the first clue that hey, buyers are active, and then all I wanted to see was price taking out 3912, and they did, and that was the confirmation. NQ was the first one, so NQ was the very first one because it took out the dream numbers, right? And then the 12,040 and 24 both. We already talked about the importance of those levels, right? In the pre-market voice. And I took the long at 12,024, right of the before open, right? Like same as yesterday, the way I did it in ES, I did it today in NQ, right? So right at the bottom entry, of the open. So and then I traded only NQ entire day, because I was so busy with NQ, I did not even bother to trade ES, So, but anyway, ES had a couple of entries also, and then once it reached its maximum point, like this area, that was the key. And then after that, it's up to NQ. If NQ goes higher, ES will go higher up. If NQ does not go higher, ES will come back down, that was the idea. But these are the notes, I'm not gonna read through all of them, right? But you can look these things, all these things. Crude, see, crude was important today. You can look at it here. So yeah, do not trade crude today, right? And just watch to see whether it can go to 89.50, 90 in RTH, or die down from 87.50. Look at the beauty of these things. It died down right from 87.50, and then it just tanked, right? And goes below 86 again, below 86, more down move, and above 89.50, 90 up move, right? In between I have no clue. So in between it is basically 87.50 to 89.50, right? It's not a tradable area. But you can see, even though I said do not trade crude, right? But if you're watching it and if you're itching to trade, when you see this thing getting rejection going below this, that was your $2 move, because crude moves. Actually I shorted it, crude, in sim account though, right? Because I usually don't trade crude, but I took a trade, from 87.38 I took the trade, and I built out at 82.25, so that's how it is. Dream numbers 24 became the low of the day today, pretty much, right? And so does ES. Look at this became the low of the day, right? 990, right? Those are the two dream numbers, very powerful numbers. So this was a 24 area, opening low was right at 24. See that 930, and ES 3906 opening low. See how powerful it is, right? So when you see this thing holding, while after I talked about the importance of this level, and if this thing is holding and you see an up move like this, at least by looking at this up thrust, that buyers have a control, at least from intraday perspective, right? Then what happened? Then price came down, right? And then we were observing all these things, right? And then price came down here also, right? It got a rejection from preferred sellers area as usual, which was a hunting level also, right? So obviously you need a response from there, right? So you take a profit, so if you are, so there were two long opportunities, one from 06, one from 39.12 right here, there was a mini 1 minute 2 minute balance here, hesitation. And then I was talking in Discord that if buyers are aggressive, you will see even they are defending 39.12. Even I talked about even 15 second, 30 second chart to see, So, and then price went higher, right? But so this was little bit aggressive trade, right? Because you are going with the flow, but you are going with your reading, and then price pull back, right? So as of so the scaling should be right here, you know. So if you're scaling it, you took a profit here, some profit, and if it goes down below this Globex high, you basically take off all the contracts, you know, or you leave the remaining below, stop below 06 or 12. You know, that's how you have to manage it. You can't put a stop in between, okay, because technically there was no resting period in between, so price can technically come down. When it came down, right, so here is they have to decide, you know, buyers have to decide now, because price, the opening thrust was that momentum was gone and the price was able to come down here. Now price has to decide the 40-50 area. Remember, I also discussed about NQ coming down all the way to 40-50 or 73 if it gets rejection from here, and it did, right? So but I did not talk about tanking. I said up to this point and then it has to decide. So here you can see it decided, right? It went above again Globex high. At that point, it is telling you that buyers are now active, you know, and then again break below, again holding this thing. This damn thing wants to go higher now, you know, at least up to hunting level. That view you need to get it right here in this price, you know, right here. See, this price action is telling you that it wants to go higher at this point, you know, and the way ES was holding, see, the entire day I said ES has a buyers active and confirming both, and NQ has both parties, so both are confirming, both are active. But ES has only buyers confirming, no seller confirming. NQ has both confirming. So NQ was little bit gray here, but ES was a clean cut, you know, it was holding buyer. So ES, there should be no short. NQ you can even take a short here because both sides were active, but ES no shorts because both sides were active, you know, fully. Sorry, buyers were active from both perspectives. Sellers were only active, not confirming. So you prefer buyers in ES at that point, right? But because of it came down all the way down here, right? And NQ has sellers in it, you wait. Then you see up move like this, right? And then again down, and then it finally took out this area again, right? See, at that point, it even tried to make a new high, our hunting level, right? Around 1035, right? Which is right here. But NQ could not go higher, right? So now you wait actually. Then it came down. See here at this high, you can try, right? But that's why it's a different arrow, because you have to really watch, because ES was doing stepping up if you look at it, right? So but NQ was not doing that, right? So that's why it's a different arrow. But the moment NQ went about this area, right, this, right, now it's time to go long somewhere here, you know, and then also at the same time you can go long in ES also, you know, like after a few minutes like this, right? And then you can hold on to your longs, you know, to the next level. Because of this NQ you have to just take bail out. ES you can hold it, but NQ you have to bail out, right? Then NQ was chopping. Each level responded pretty much. Every level responded if you look at it, right? Because they were all good resistances, right? So but at least up to this point NQ is most likely going to test this area, and if it takes out this area, then it is going to most likely test this area. If it takes out this area, then most likely 300. That is what I typed in later in the day, that most likely it is gonna go to 300 either today or tomorrow, and it did today, you know. So at least 300 was a potential when it took out this area, right? And then again, but it's not tradable area, you know, so this you can't trade it, you know? But up to this was the max entry for NQ target, you know. So actually I took couple of shots here, scalping shots, because these were the good levels, you know. So now those were the SIM account, okay, because I already done my trading right here, you know. I grabbed 100 point or so in this move, you know, pretty much. So and ES, these were the trades, you know, like this, and you can, so every level if you observe it, ES was purely doing stepping up slowly, you know. Each level turn into support. So this hunting level, support, right? When you see this bounce, you know exactly that it is doing stepping up. Here step up, again step up. See, so ES was a good to trade today, you know, to the long side. But anyway, so that's how the day went by today, you know. So I already had my 100 point here, but look at the beauty of it, right? So today I did a record breaking in SIM, you know. Now hold on. where is it? You can see these things. I was able to do this in 2 to 3 hours. I did not even trade it 3 hours. In my SIM account, look at this, $500,000, $500,000 in 2 hours, because today's reading was perfect, you know. So I traded up to 400 contracts, you know, in SIM, yeah. But the key is here is not SIM I'm showing you. What I'm showing you here is, even in SIM, I was able to reach $500,000 in 2 hours. Now try to do it. Now you are thinking maybe it's a SIM account, anybody can do it, right? Try to do it. In 2 hours you have to take 15 trades, right? 15 or so, because that's many trade I took it, and I was able to achieve this, right? You are allowed to put up to 400 contracts if you want, but then 2 hours, 15 trades, 500 grand. Try to do it in SIM. See if you can manage it, if you can pull it off. I doubt that you can even pull it off. 15 trades, if you make one mistake, right, 400 contracts, you are instantly 100 grand down, right? So it's not that easy. Even though it's a SIM, it's very hard. Only you can pull it through it if you know what to read, how to read contextually, and when to take entry, when to bail out, when to scalp. All these things you need to know. Then you can get to this amount even in SIM. Otherwise, even I don't think so you can even make it in SIM that much amount in 2 hours, you know. But that's how it is, you know. So I just wanted to show you this example, that don't ignore this, that hey man, it's a SIM account, who cares, right? Try to beat that amount in SIM. In 2 hours of trading S&P 500 futures or NQ futures with 15 to 20 trades, you have to take it and you have to reach this amount. Try it, then let me know, you know. But anyway, so what the point here is, I'm showing you these things. You can make it in live account this much money, you know. But if you really read the price section and read the pre-market notes, focus on levels, come out with your own process, something, then you can get to that level, you know, or get to that even stage. So with that, let me talk about Mboxwave. See if I can find something very quickly. Okay, so let me talk about NQ, right? So before open, right? What happened before open? So let's quickly draw, right? So this is yesterday's price action, right? So at least, you know, yesterday it had a breakdown right here, you know, or overnight actually, right? So at least we know this area is important, you know, this area, you know, pretty much, right? Because that's where all these things started, right? Then what happened overnight? Now overnight what happened? Price balance below it, right? Then go higher, then it was ping-ponging around this area, right? And then it went higher, correct? So now let's assume this is a support, right? So I'm not gonna talk about my levels, okay? I'm just going to give you high level overview here based on Mbox, right? Based on the price, the way it's moving, right? So I'm just basic simple support resistance idea, right? Then what happened? Then price balanced here, right? And then something happened, right? Somebody sold it here, let's say, right? And then price came where? This support, right? And then we had a selling going on. Everything was good at that point, right? So I would expect sellers to hold this area, right? Because here they were buyers defended it, right? Now they got trapped. So I want sellers to defend this area, right? Now let's move forward. So yes, they were defending this area here. You can see it clearly, see, like this, correct? So at least you know sellers are defending, correct? But then you look at this values here, 160, 108, 52. Do you want to see this after having this much sell-off? You want to see continuation down nicely, right? Look at this, gone, right? Something is off, correct? That's the first sign. Now let's see what happens. Right of the open, this big bar, big buying, right? And now prices took out this area, this, right? Now what? Now let it go little bit above this area, then buyers in control, simple, you know. And now you have algos also, right? Look at this buying, right? So now let's see, yes, compared to yesterday, yes, look at this, compared to yesterday's buying, this buying exceeded yesterday's buying. So at least you know buyers has a 1+ point, right? Right here. And because of this lack of selling, and with this buying, and now with this algo, you are good to go long right here. with stop below this. Let's see, right? So now let's say you missed out. So my entry was right here, not based on Mboxwave, but based on my level. 24 was my dream number, which became the low of the day. This 24 was my dream number, powerful dream number, And then my other dream number today was this 40 level. Look at the entry from here. See that? Both of this, right? So anyway, but let's say you missed out this trade. Now what? Now after sellers, buyers took out this sellers too, right? Now it's a full-fledged buying going on, correct? So you missed it, then you wait for a pullback, right? Pullback, you have to wait for it, right? So good pullback area would be probably maybe this area, right? So let's see what happens. So first time down, price bounced actually from it, right? And then something happened, right? We look at the selling also. There was no selling, right? So if you took a long here, right? Obviously you have to put your stop below this, right? Or at least below this, right? But then you have to wait for a confirm close, right? You can't just like price little bit poke here to the dot almost and then you build out, right? It's not how it works. So you have to give some room, But anyway, let's say you took a long here, right? You're holding it. Maybe you got stopped out here because you put it to tight stop, whatever, right? Or you put a stop here, you got lucky. Then what happened? Then price went higher again, right? Then it came down, right? So when it came down, look at this. No selling at all. Look at this. There is no selling here. And look at -2, right? And then it bumped up again with algo. See, this was a sign to go long, right? If you now zoom in to 1 minute time frame, then you will know what is going on, right? So let's see 1 minute. Probably 1 minute will give you something here, So see, this is early morning stuff, correct? And then we had a pullback here, algo, and then there was a long here, right? And then in this circle we were looking for longs, right? And then look what happened. 333 or 232 or whatever this value here, 72, 181, 38, 51, right? And then you can see this also. See, it's a visible thing, clear visible thing, There is no fancy business going on here. Look at this, right? Clear stuff. When you see this, remember I said in this circle, you may see something. This is your long entry, right? So actually, right here, right? So here, when you see this buying popping up after this, right? And then it went higher. Look at what happens after that to this area, right? See, everything started from here. See, this area held it, then little bit poke above, below, but then it couldn't sustain it, and then again upward thrust, right? You go long. See, that's how you do trade it today, That's how the day was today, and that be all.